Jenny Penn, Jenny Penn, Jenny Penn. Oh boy. Who is Jenny Penn? Well, we'll find out here shortly, starting with the IMDb plot. Confined to a secluded rest home and trapped within his stroke-ridden body, a former judge must stop an elderly psychopath who employs a child's puppet to abuse the home's residents with deadly consequences. Okay. This is a new film. I think, it's been out for a little while now, so, maybe some of you have already seen it. On Shudder, I believe it says here it's on Prime. And I think it might have had a limited release, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, kind of a new film, so we'll try to kind of keep this spoiler free. Certainly a bizarre movie. A bizarre theme here, and just very weird. Is strange to say the least. Obviously, it stars, besides Jenny Penn, the doll here, John Lithgow, who, he does a really good job. He's a very good actor and definitely playing some interesting parts. And obviously, the gentleman who plays the judge here does a good job as well. Both of them largely carry the film. But yeah, just a bizarre movie, bizarre story. But yeah, early on we get to meet the judge, and he's in his courtroom, and he's doing his thing there, and something's not well with him, and as he's about to deliver a verdict, and so forth, he seems to have like a heart attack or some kind of condition like that. They say a stroke. So while he's trying to avoid it, he ends up in a nursing type home, and so that he can recover. And at first he's there and everything seems to be fine and so forth. And then we get introduced to John's character, and we see that he's a little bit off because he has on one hand this doll, and that he's made a puppet. Looks like a little bit like a creepy evil doll, but just plastic, and that's Jenny, and he basically does whatever Jenny wants. Sometimes it kind of seems like he's in control, but at the end of the day, when things go wrong or things go bad, it's her, and yeah, and Jenny has no bounds and does some strange stuff. I don't want to give away any of the stuff that Jenny says or does or wants done in the movie, so you guys can experience that yourself. I won't take that pleasure from you. Just foul doll. Bad thoughts. Of course they're his thoughts, but still, he portrays it as the doll, so bad doll. We'll blame it on the doll. So yeah, he kind of is, because he uses his doll and whatever. He kind of uses it to bully the rest of the patients here. Some might be able to put up a little bit more fight. But remember, most of them are elderly. All of them are there for some issue or the other. So, some might not be able to put up as much of a fight as others. Obviously, the judge sees the wrong in it and wants to put up his own fight. And, he also thinks that because he's a judge, he can kind of carry some weight with the staff and so forth. But let's just say Jenny is pretty smart and, kind of outwits him at every turn, especially early on in their battle amongst each other, until the judge can kind of figure out, what more is going on here and to kind of figure out how he can get the upper hand here and kind of even the scale. So it soon enough becomes kind of a back and forth between the two, kind of, the judge kind of surviving and trying, to get rid of Jenny and try to put his end to this torture that he's been going through, and obviously others in there by him, by Jenny. So it becomes, this back and forth battle between the two. And that's kind of the basic of it. Like I said, Jenny's a foul doll and says and wants to do some foul things while she's there to the people that are there. And, the judge is just going to have to fight over. So, a little bit of a different setting here for a horror film. Not that we've not been in a nursing home before, but usually, other events are going on. I don't think there's been one where it's kind of taken this kind of angle. Maybe obviously maybe somebody has gone crazy, but not maybe used the doll. So it does have a little bit of uniqueness to it. Familiar setting and place, and a crazy person with a doll. But I don't know, there's maybe, just being in the nursing home and so forth, maybe its own special place there. Again, the performances are good, but, it is about an hour and 40 or so minutes. So I think at certain parts it might kind of wear on you a little bit because you kind of see the back and forth and see where it's going. It just, the bizarreness might wear on you a little bit. I don't know. It just seemed weird. Wasn't sure, I guess, there's maybe a little twist and turn with how, each kind of tries to take it, get the higher ground on the other. So you may want to pay attention to certain aspects of Jenny and certain aspects of the judge and certain things that are going on there, so that you can maybe kind of guess at what's coming, or at least how one is going to take advantage of the other. Eventually, there will be a showdown in between the judge and between Jenny and so forth, to see who comes on top of that, and see if the craziness will continue, or we can put an end to it. I think it's just largely driven by the bizarreness of having the doll there, and obviously if you did watch the trailer or whatever, and you can see him using the doll and so forth, obviously you're seeing John Lithgow and what he can do, and thinking that, oh, he's got this doll, what's he going to do with it? So obviously it gives you plenty of reason to see the film. At the end of the day, once it comes to its end, I don't know that, besides being just weird and odd and seeing a foul doll, I don't know that there's much more. Obviously strong performances, but again, I don't know if it does anything else besides that. I don't know. It just creepy doll and being used and so forth. It is, a little bit sad also in its way. I mean, you think about the elderly abuse that goes on at these places, but usually in a different way. This is not you don't really think of it as a crazy guy running around with the doll, being able to do what he does. Obviously there's some twists and turns in the story a little bit there with what's going on. So there's some unpacking of a small mystery that's going on here as well. But Jenny, you're going to kind of think of it as Jenny being the main leader of this place for a long time now, and not too many people have challenged her, but now here's this judge, and he gets off to a slow start, but then he's going to put up a fight eventually. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's one of those movies you watch because you want to see John do the performance, and you want to watch to see this strangeness of the bizarre doll. But I think it from the ratings there seemed to do okay, but I don't know. I gathered before I watched it that it seemed like people really liked it, but I think it just seemed that people liked it, but it wasn't anything super out there at the end. So with that, I think I'm just going to give it 2.5 pools of blood. It was just bizarre. Good performance and everything, but it's just bizarre seeing him run around with this doll in his hand all the time, and so forth. But it was, it had its moments. When I can appreciate, some of the, maybe the smaller things that twist, small twist things that one or two would do to kind of, take advantage of the other, was kind of interesting in the way they went about that. And yeah, you definitely had to be paying attention if you caught that. So, it was okay. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm just going to stick with 2.5 pools of blood and call it a day. So with that, horrorscorereviews.blogspot.com, so you can find all of my reviews, written and video, certainly tons of video reviews, so you can like and subscribe and do everything else that people want you to do here on YouTube. If not, no worries, it is truly okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below, so you can join me there, talk about this movie, other movies, something you want me to review. Definitely in the comment section down below once you've seen it, or if you've already seen it, what you thought. Definitely interested on that, and what you thought of Jenny. And maybe we have Jenny part 2. She come back, she rules again. I don't know. So with that, I'll catch you on the next review, horror fans.